This is one of those moments that I love a lot. You know, what's up?
That's a 13, right?
Yes, it is a 13.
So what's about this shoe here?
Oh my God! First of all, let me get this.
Okay.
This is the coolest lady in the world. I don't know how, but this is my lucky rabbit's foot. She hits all the raffles that I can't. You see her? Yeah, and OG mom dudes. Yeah, y'all see it in my size.
They better be your size.
Yeah.
So y'all see it. I said thank you.
Yeah,
I said, you don't have a shirt? He said, oh, not this time. Because you know, with the other ones, they had a shirt.
Yeah.
Remember I bought that?
Yeah.
And he said, no, man, we don't have a shirt this time. I think, why not?
Don't worry, we got one for it. But thank you.
What up, 3 times? You already know who it is. It's the one and only homie Chef, aka Wings912 on IG. That's WINGZZ912 on Instagram. If you're looking at me, got an almighty review. Plus, we got some sneaker talk. Appreciate you tapping in, showing love. If this is your first time, please go ahead and hit that subscription button with the notification bell so you can stay tuned and tapped into the content. Please hit the thumbs up to keep me in the algorithm and drop a comment if you feel compelled, because I'm responding. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. This was a tough little 48 hours for us all together as a collective. We were all in raffles, and yeah, we're getting into all of that right now. As far as sneaker talk, let's talk a few things. The first thing I want to talk about is Undefeated 4 raffle online held by via EQL. Yeah, that was a moment. Undefeated did the big one with this, and the way that they rolled out this raffle to release, which was today on August the 2nd, was crazy. First things first, yeah, they did the locals first. They got the local in-store first, and that was crazy, and that took a while, but it felt like everybody that signed up for that pretty much hit, you know what I'm saying? And then it came to the online raffle, and I can't lie, it was real crazy. I felt like they had a lot of stock that it ran for a while, man, and a lot of people got a lot of W's. I saw some L's, don't get me wrong. I definitely saw L's, but for the most part, a lot of people won, and you know what I mean, we did pretty good in the group. You know what I mean, Breakfast Club did their thing. Yes, your boy caught a dub. You will be seeing that shoe here. Too bad we have to wait about a month for them, because they ain't gonna release until around the time that Sneakers decides to drop theirs. After the EQL raffle for the local in-store first, and then you had the online. They had the general release to the public, and it was crazy because it was 63-minute cart holds as soon as you got in, which meant the bots were at work, and the bots ate today. If you got through and got a W on Undefeated, congratulations, you are rare and you should go play the lottery. But yeah, man, today was a crazy day because that was the only shoe that was hot on the market, you know what I mean? Nike decided to drop the Jordan 10 Steel, and needless to say, it had me confused. I dropped a live earlier this week where I was talking about how there were none locally for us, but there weren't a lot of places that had them at all, if any, you know what I'm saying? I know Jacksonville didn't have a lot of any at all, and there was a couple places that did first come, first serve. I saw Athlete's Foot in a certain particular place that had them, but I don't know if this was on purpose by Nike or not, but Nike made sure that sneakers had the hottest commodity, and I heard stock numbers flirting between the amounts of 10K to 18K, and that's little to none, and yeah, I had a hard time even getting in with that because, you know, bots chewed on the Nike app today, you know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Squeeze. He got a pair, but yeah, it was a tough go for me, man, and I don't know what that was, you know what I mean? I can't even call it, you know what I mean? So Snipes also had them, and I saw Exhibition have them as well, but I promise you, bots ate, they were flown through, and it was just very different, man, to see that type of situation happen with these shoes. Now, I expect them to pop up locally for a lot of places starting this week. And if you got coupons, you're going to get them for under retail. You just got to make sure you keep checking with all your local stores, you know what I mean? From mom and pops to your, you know what I mean, nationwide retailers like JD, Snipes, Foot Locker, et cetera, et cetera. I still can't explain what happened or why it was so delayed, but Nike made sure that they sold out and they had nothing to give up for discount, I'll tell you that much. Do I think this shoe will go on for discount? Probably not. What I think is once the local spots get their shipments in, that resale is going to come down tremendously. The resale is up a little bit, you know what I mean? It's very high, to be honest. It's kind of crazy, but at the same time, it makes sense because right now everybody knows that shoe is rare, and you know the stock was very small. So do what you can, get your work, put your footwork in, but make sure you stay on top of it and figure out when your local shops will have those shoes. Before we get into this part of the episode, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Clockwork skate shop located downtown 321 Broughton in Savannah, and are also located in the Macon area to help out the Atlanta Metro. Dopest skate shop in the world. They have everything, all kind of heat, sneakers, clothing, hats, boards, all the gear, ball bearings, trucks, you name it, they got it. You know what I mean? Go tap in with them guys and get all your skating needs. You know what I mean? Trust me, it's very well worth it. They had a raffle for a particular shoe that has been the talk and the hype of the latter couple months. And needless to say, we got them in for review, you know what I mean? Shout out to Mom Dukes. Yes, my mom, you know what I mean? Saw her in the beginning. It's something about her. She is an entire rabbit's foot. You know what I mean? If I can't hit the raffle, trust me, she hits the raffle at Clockwork. And the guys know her in there and they show her love. And Breakfast Club, whenever she pops out, they show her love. And it's dope, man. You know what I mean? My mom is just kind of jumped into, you know what I mean, learning about my passion. But not only that, she has fruits of her labor. She has a nice little sneaker collection, and she likes a couple particular things, you know what I'm saying? But this is one shoe that she definitely liked because of the fuchsia and the materials involved. But never mind all the small talk. You know how we rock. We start with the box. And yeah, all the way through and through Nike. So you see it's purple. And the colors read Summit White Cactus Flower. Yes. And I present to you the Nike Air Max 95 SB. Yeah, y'all. Oh yeah, we gotta give it one time. But now that we got them in hand, let's get into them.
Nike SB Nike Air Max 95 Cactus Flower reworks the retro runner as a modern skateboarding shoe that maintains the design DNA of the original. Wavy suede side panels feature a gradient design in which the black top layer transitions to a lighter shades of gray. Fuchsia accents make their way on the webbing eyelets, embroidered mini swoosh, and embossed Nike SB logo that appears on a reflective silver heel panel. A white polyurethane midsole is fitted with hot pink aerosol units and is supported by a modified gum rubber outsole.
So boom, the long-awaited, hyped-up talk of the shoe that we didn't think was really going to happen, but it actually happened, came into fruition. The Nike Air Max 95 OG SB. Okay, it's almost funny to say SB without the word dunk on the end, you know what I mean? How did we get here? All right, let's talk, because this history lesson actually comes to the forefront of right now and kind of brings up an issue about a little bit of beef over intellectual property. You know what I mean? But let's take it back. You got 95, you know what I mean? The OG Neon comes out, makes major noise, you know what I mean? In the streets, in the sneaker culture, you know what I'm saying? But it also transcends into the skater world, you know what I mean? Big OG, big dog in the game, legendary skater Stevie Williams is skating the 95 OG, and he's killing it, and there's mad pictures to document this moment in history, you know what I mean? It's crazy, you know what I mean? He was the first one to do it, you know? Fast forward to maybe, let's say 2024, 2025. You start hearing rumblings of Eric Costin playing around with the Air Max 95 and it being an SB and him skating and everything. And we know his role with Nike SB and the relationship that they've had over the years, you know what I mean? Now, what makes this creation have a little bit of riff or tiff, you know what I'm saying, is Stevie Williams has been one of the best creators of skater culture. You know what I mean? One of the best creative minds in skater culture, especially with DGK. He's been holding it down, stood the test of time, put a lot of heart and soul into his brand. And I mean, it speaks for itself, you know what I'm saying? So when they decided, you know, whenever this shoe started to come out, you know what I mean, Eric Costin was getting a lot of interviews and everything, but there was a phrase that was coming out that was getting used and associated with this shoe, and it was run, skate, chill. Doing the research, that was Stevie Williams' actual phrase that he came up with back in the day, and because he didn't copyright it, you know, Nike had all free reign to use it, and they actually did, and it kind of came out in poor taste to the point where Stevie had a few things to say about it to Eric Costin on the internet. But nevertheless, you know, he was just like, you know, he's just calling a spade, but, you know, he still skates dunks. He was just giving a history, and, you know what I mean, kind of saying Costin was a bit of a culture vulture. You know what I mean, got a little intense. Nevertheless, Stevie was just like, all love, keep it pushing, you know what I mean, keep doing your thing, and he's going to do his. So, yeah, this had a little bit of controversy on it, but this is definitely the first of, I feel, first of a line of shoes that I think people are going to tap into. And this one here, we're going to look at deeply, and we're going to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? All right, so boom, let's talk pros and cons of this shoe. We're going to talk about it in layers because we actually have the shoe, another shoe to compare it to, which is, of course, OG 95, but we're going to dissect it in layers. All right, so the first noticeable thing is the materials, and I can't lie, I like the materials. It's nice, sturdy suede. You know what I mean? It feels pretty thick. I really feel like it's going to be good for the grip tape. You know what I mean? And then it also has a leather on here. The leather is in black, and that's not bad at all. You know, tongue has the mesh. Tongue and on top of the toe box is made of mesh. Not bad. You got 3M on here. Pretty cool. As you can see, you have the white midsole, khaki outer sole. You know what I mean? It feels like a standard Air Max 95 OG. But we are definitely going to get into the subtle differences. All right, but now let's bring in the comparison. And we have pink foam 95 OGs to compare it to. So, you know what I mean? Let's break this down layer by layer. The top of the toe box, it looks like they just had to adjust the shape of the shoe a little bit more, you know, so it kind of almost has like a tilt inward. I think that is more or less for performance as far as the skaters go. But that's one of the first subtle differences I noticed. And then not only that, but along the rib cage of the shoe on the side, it's just way puffier and way thicker. And as you can see, I think that's more padding, more support, you know, just another way to sneak some of that in there. The tongue and the sock liner are very much the same. When you come to the back of the shoe, the heel of the shoe, the Nike SB 95 is a bit more wider, and that's just, of course, for support. You know what I mean? Skating, need that sturdiness. So yeah, and then as you come down to the midsole, that's where you see the biggest noticeable difference of all. The midsole is a third bigger, and it definitely gives you more stability and balance on the board, and it definitely gives you much more control having that thicker midsole. So that definitely shows. And then when you come to the outsole, as you can see, on the outsole of the Nike SB, it has those grips, going in different directions, so you know it helps you pull off those tricks and gives a better performance. So yeah, overall, the Nike SB Air Max 95 isn't bad. You just put a treatment on there, and I think they really tested this shoe to make sure that they gave every detail, whatever it needed for the skaters to have the best product possible. I'm not mad at this at all. We definitely know there are more coming. Eric Costin has been skating a pair of navy blue and gold, kind of like the Michigan colors. And word on the wire is they're coming, you know, hopefully. I want to say maybe by the end of this year. Might see them be top of 2026. Who knows? Dates fluctuate. But yeah, man. 95 OG has been making a lot of noise in 2025. And needless to say, they didn't shy away from giving it the SB treatment, and they did it fast. Kind of crazy, man. Like I said, a lot of places had raffles. These will be hitting Nike sneakers app very soon. So do your B's and Q's, stay on point, update, keep your app updated, and you know what I mean, make sure you got that money in that account. These retailed at 185, if I'm not mistaken, 185. So yeah, do your due diligence. When it comes to the fit is true to size. Treat it just like a 95. That's what I did. I'm not mad at it. Feels very comfortable, very good. As far as resale goes, these are up. It's been holding steady around 300. Do I think these will go back up? Possibly, because it's the first shoe. I don't want to compare it to the Pine Green Jordan 4 because that's a whole different monster. However, it's been holding at 3, and I think it'll go up a little bit because it's the first one until the Eric Costins come out. Then I think you might see it dip a little bit closer to retail. But do what you want with that information to determine if you're going to wait or not. Like I said, I'm just glad I got mine for retail, so I'm not tripping at all. But yeah, another one for the books, man. Can't get mad at it. One more look before we go ahead and bring the chefs out. And I feel like August is a perfect time because you still got a little bit of summer left for these. And you can get some things off with these fits. You know what I mean? With the colors, you can get a couple fits off. You know what I'm saying? That gum on the outside, very different, but bold, and I'm not mad. And when it comes to the 95 Air Max SB, I'll give these an 8. I'm not mad at them. I'm not too mad at them. Very bold attempt. And needless to say, they did well with the execution. I like the way it feels. The look isn't crazy. It's not off. Like I said, the subtle changes are for the functionality of the shoe for skating. You know what I mean? But I'm not mad at the colorway either. Colorway works. Shoe looks pretty decent. And, you know, it's pretty much one of the first ones. So 8 out of 10 is fair. I think it's going to look good in other colorways as well. Praying for a black one. But yeah, get down below in the comments. Tell me how you feel. Did you are you going to go for these? Did you hit these locally or EQL raffle? Like, what's up, man? Get involved. Let me know, man. As always, appreciate y'all tapping in, showing love. Stay positive. Keep your family and friends and loved ones around you as close as possible. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's all you can do. You know what I mean? We're wrapping up the summertime. Is back to school. I might do a good episode about good shoes for back to school parents. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple things that are sitting out there that are below retail and have some good wear and tear. You know what I mean? So keep your eyes open and make sure you can find out that episode. As always, stay hydrated, stay focused, stay hustling, stay low, but more importantly, stay out the way. Mind the business that pays you. Just saying. A little bit of information from me to you. It's been helping me out, man. Saying. And by any means, keep them sneakers clean, yo. You already know the motto. Before you go pay resale, come here and get them details. If we catch you lacking, understand that we snatching. It's not a game. We outside. Even in the rain. Breakfast Club. Be easy. Wow.